Why is it just one thing after another after another? Why can't they stop? Why can't they leave us alone? Oh boy, I am so fucking scared. Because you told us that someday we'd go home. And I was stupid enough to believe it. I'm standing here thinking I am at the end of the line, that everything I thought about this place was... I'm not sure how much more I can take. If anyone is going to risk their lives to do something stupid, that person is going to be me. What? You're going to sit here and tell me with all you've seen that you can't wrap your head around a miracle? Because a miracle is just the other side of a nightmare.
It seems the power of belief is strong enough to resurrect the dead. We have some strange connections between the consumption of flesh and the power it has over people, and how that could lead Henry down a very dark path. And there's a lot of questions revolving around what Donna could have seen while she was dead and on the other side. While this episode originally left me a little bit frustrated with some of the things they decided to do with Donna narratively, after thinking about it for a bit, I do think this opens up a lot of narrative potential. Either way, the story starts and Jade is trying to convince Boyd to go with him down into the tunnels. Jade explaining that this place seemed to be built on sacrifice, and that potentially the bones buried in the bottom of the caves is what's containing the spirits or whatever is capable of making from work the way it does. Boyd still doesn't fully have faith in the plan, but Jade brings up the hidden door in the basement of Colony House. If they can go there and find a door as well, then it means his hallucinations might have been real. They arrive at Colony House and pass by Acosta, who's still looking through all that stuff, wondering what they need. I really enjoyed the bluntness between both her and Jade's interaction here, and they seem to bounce off each other well.
Boyd's just trying to keep me busy because he knows that I want to kill myself.
Oh, how's that going?
I haven't slept my wrist yet.
So it's going well then.
I've always been an Acosta defender, and in a video where I did defend her, I also referred to her as the Lonely Dragon. Which makes a lot of sense considering in that story, the Cromonocle showed up to the Lonely Dragon's cave where it hoarded a bunch of things, and the Lonely Dragon allowed the Cromonocle to pass and find the rainbow sky, or the map to it. It's been long theorized that Jade could be the Cromonocle. However, unfortunately, when looking where the door should be, they only find a wall. Jade and Boyd are frustrated on what to do next, and Jade lets Boyd know that he can only hold this place together for so long, but at some point things will change and it will come crumbling down. Boyd and Kenny have a solid moment to catch up, and I really appreciated the bond between these two, and the clarification and acknowledgement that they're not trying to keep things from each other. Things have just been way too chaotic to catch up. Kenny brings up the good old days, and this actually won't be the first time we see characters get together and reminisce. Kenny and Boyd remembering the times when they would count the nights nothing bad would happen, which we can actually see a chalkboard of in the beginning of the series. Residents end up seeing Victor on the roof, who ends up revealing that he's thinking about a man who jumped from the Colony House roof because he was so scared. But it did actually take him days to eventually die. Boyd is able to talk Victor down from the roof by enlisting his help and figuring out more about the man in yellow. While this is happening, Sarah is preparing something nice for Sophia to make her feel more at home, which Sophia is someone we definitely don't want feeling comfortable in our house. Either way, Julie stops by to apologize for the way she treated her in the past, claiming she couldn't really comprehend what Sarah went through before, but kind of can now. Sarah asks if she wants to help paint some of the house, and while doing so, they each reminisce and bond about the good old days. Julie bringing up donuts and Sarah confusingly claiming that she forgot about donuts. This makes me wonder if potentially some of the residents in Fromville are losing their own memories to be replaced with the roles that were filled here before, or their previous incarnations. Either way, Sarah does eventually ask Julie what she meant when she said she could finally understood what she was going through, and Julie explains how she story-walked to try to save her father. Sarah just apologizing for everything she's gone through. We catch back up to Victor, who's explaining to Boyd more about the man in yellow. He claims that he was nice, but he can't fully remember if he arrived alone. This does beg the question if there's other beings throughout Fromville that are like the man in yellow. Potentially beings yet to be revealed who were actually in town the whole time, like Clara. Either way, they wonder what kind of car he came in, Victor claiming it was big and brown, and wondering if Victor can take them to the car lot to show them. Donna arrives to take Kenny and Boyd to the remains of Roger and explain what happened at the lake. It's when uncovering Roger that they see they literally did stuff him and turn him into a doll like some of the comments had suggested. Ellis catches up and sees what Fatima's been working on in the golem. and it looks an awfully lot like some of those scary drawings Victor had made. Ellis tries to explain why he's so worried and that he feels like he's just failing her, just wanting to understand what she's going through. Fatima explains that growing up so afraid and powerless, her dad would tell her stories of things like the Jinn, Vishu and Krishna, and the Golem of Prague. Each of these things associated with mystical protection. Vishu is the traditional Hindu New Year festival, Krishna being worshipped on the day of celebration of Vishu, for it being believed to be the day that he defeated the demon Narakasura. The Jinn being supernatural beings of ancient Arabian religion, created from smokeless fire, and the Golem of Prague, a legendary clay creature created in the late 16th century in order to protect a Jewish ghetto from violent anti-Semitic pogroms. Fatima explaining that belief in magical things was the one thing nobody could ever take away from her. And with how powerful belief seems to be within Fromville, it's very strongly hinted that this golem will come to life to help protect the town, which, considering what Boyd's getting up to, might happen sooner rather than later. Either way, Ethan visits Victor, and they get some awesome bonding moments that reflect how good their relationship has been so far. These two are really the best of friends, and potentially alluding to the Norman story we saw told at the beginning, with one of them potentially dying. Either way, they argue about wanting to keep things from each other until they begrudgingly draw together and immediately reveal what happened between the two. Ethan bringing up the settlement and how Tabitha killed one of the killer dolls, and Victor claiming that Tabitha's strong just like his mom was in Miranda. But his dad isn't so tough. This really does solidify the connection between Tabitha and Miranda, but also does paint a horrible picture for what could be happening with Henry in the future. Especially considering we see Henry checking out the man in yellow's jacket and Sophia coming to pay him a visit. Henry goes to have a drink and Sophia follows him. They chit-chat as she wants to join him for a drink. Before he offers, he does question her age, but she's just claiming she's old enough to grieve and has been through a lot. I'm really glad the sequences between these two didn't take a creepier turn, but it still got pretty dark. With the irony of Sophia wondering about the man in yellow and how Henry knew him, in being the one who made Henry's family one of his meals. It's during this that Sophia scratches her hand and ends up secretly dripping some of the blood into Henry's drink. This is before she asks him the question of if she thinks potentially everything here could just be a nightmare or a dream. Now, I do think it's interesting how cannibalism seems to be so important within From, or at least the consumption of flesh and blood. We have Jade's past incarnation drinking blood from the skull, we have Fatima satiating her demon baby with the cannibalism of Nikki, and we have the man in yellow who is consuming people that we see dead from the massacre. It's very possible, with the power of belief, long ago someone committed some sort of blood ritual and believed it would work, resulting in things similar to replicating the blood ritual, giving those specific powers. Either way, it's alluded to the fact that Henry drinking some of Sophia's blood will result to him being more susceptible to her control, or at least influence, with her pushing him to pull another Abby and potentially shoot up the entire town. But this does make you wonder, if the same thing did happen to Abby, then who was the man in yellow during that time? Either way, we catch up with some serious character development for Randall, who finds out from Bacta that Donna had a heart attack and shows some genuine concern, which is a huge upgrade from their last interaction I saw them have. Even offering to help take and cut up the food back at Colony House and having another wholesome moment with Elgin. Considering these two characters had already settled their differences, I wonder if later down the road something will come of their friendship they're building. Either way, Boyd and the others discuss what happens while Donna pours them all drinks from her bottle. It's here I thought potentially the same thing that happened to Henry could be happening to Donna and the crew, considering she has a heart attack just moments later. But we also know during this scene that Tabitha had taken a drink. It was when Kenny started to bring up the fact that he thinks when people die, their nightmares and fears become part of the forest, and Donna starts stressing out about how to inform everyone that the stress could have gotten to her and just caused a heart attack, or something supernatural was at play and needed to kill her in this moment. Part of me was also wondering if she was meant to die at the settlement and she was just getting her comeuppance here. But by the end of the episode, we see that doesn't seem to be the case. Kenny rushes to help Christy, who's attending to a burnt patty, and they both head back to Colony House, with Boyd updating them that Donna hasn't had a pulse for 5 or 7 minutes. Any normal human would be suffering some serious brain damage if they woke up from this. Boyd visibly losing it while he's doing compressions, and Christy eventually realizing that it's far too late and nothing will work. Boyd freaks out, pushing and refusing to let her go, and suddenly it works and a pulse returns. Boyd going to the shed to find wires and hook some stuff up to Donna, and enlisting Jade's help. And it's here, during all the intensity, that we actually get a pretty funny moment between these two, with Jade figuring out what exactly it is they're lifting up.
Fuck, wow, what the fuck is this? Come on. Ready? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. What is that? Oh, sweet Jesus! Fuck!
Ethan starts to worry, and I really appreciate how Tabitha was forward and honest with him. Tabitha is one of those characters like Acosta who gets a lot of hate for no real reason. Despite not really being a perfect character, it's very uncalled for. That being said, this season she's really stepped up as a character, apologizing to Jade for how she talked to him, attempting to involve both her children in the goings-on around the place, and being really supportive to Ethan and becoming more of an ally rather than someone who's trying to control him or what he does. Either way, they get Donna hooked up, but they're worried how long her brain could have been deprived of oxygen. Ethan visits and says his goodbyes, promising to always try his best to be brave. Boyd visits Donna, begging her to wake up because they got things to do, and refusing to say goodbye, with Father Khatri visiting and pushing him to just go ahead and follow Jade's dream. Boyd still brings up some of the first stories he knew of Donna, confusing him by asking if they snore, but really it was just to watch out for them, as if someone snores, they're likely to get found. Khatri continues to push Boyd to follow Jade's dream, and Boyd gets mad, claiming this is not the time, and presumably through some stubborn belief, he wills Donna back to consciousness, cluing us to the audience into the fact that your beliefs really do possess power here. Boyd heads out and lets the crowd at the door know, and for some reason out of all people sends a freshly burnt patty to go inform everyone that Donna's okay. Any subtlety she was trying to keep with her scars is definitely going to be gone now. Boyd steps outside and Khatri once again pushes him to follow Jade's dreams and figure out what's going on in the tunnels, with Boyd finally getting fed up, not wanting to put anyone at risk, and smashing the wall where the door was supposed to be. And it turns out Jade's dream was right, and there is a door there. But is it possible that revealing the door will doom the colony house to another attack? And would that mean that Acosta would be the first to go? Either way, it could also potentially mean that the golem Fatima's building will come to life to protect them. But I also have to wonder who Boyd would actually bring with him down into the tunnels to find these bones. This episode was a really solid one, but at first I was a bit frustrated with it. I'm someone who really hates fake out deaths, and none will ever be worse than the ones they try to pull with Glenn before they decided to, spoiler alert, kill him off anyways. And seeing this happen with Donna so close to each other in episodes, I was getting similar vibes. However, within the context of this show, it's been strongly alluded to that death isn't the end. Whether you die and wake up in the real world like Tabitha did, or you die and become a ghost or apparition like Jim or Khatri or even Abby, or you even just die and your fears become a part of the forest and maybe you're strapped up to a fear tree made of spiders, there's a lot of narrative potential for what Donna could have seen while she was on the other side. Now, if next episode starts and Donna's just like, wow, what a crazy heart attack, I'm glad I'm fine, then I'm gonna be severely disappointed and confused why they made this narrative choice. But as of right now, you could do a lot with what Donna could have seen, and you could have her be one of the key factors in figuring a lot more out. With Tabitha, she seemed to have been physically pushed out of the window and back into reality in the same form and body. However, Donna's body, while still deceased, remained there in Colony House. So if you guys have any theories for what could have happened to her or what she could have seen, I'd love to hear them down below. I do also find it kind of suspicious that Father Khatri would push Boyd into figuring things out despite Donna dying like 2 minutes beforehand. This makes me wonder if whatever is controlling these apparitions or using their forms was trying to keep Boyd from willing Donna back to life. I mean, notice how Father Khatri suddenly appeared with an important mission for Boyd after he was refusing to let Donna go and actually gave her a pulse again. And despite how much he tried to distract him, Boyd refused to give in and still fought for Donna to return. Very resemblant of in season 2 when Abby was pushing Boyd to give up on freeing all the people chained up in the cicada nightmare attack and claiming that they could just be together again. Boyd still making the right choice in breaking the music box in my opinion. But I want to hear yours. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to let me know with a comment, a like, or subscribe, as it really supports the channel. And if you have any theories, I'd love to hear them down below. And if you're interested in other stories where people get lost in a strange place where they can't really escape, you can check out my Backrooms review. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, have a good rest of your day, and remember to keep believing.
They come with you when you go.
I need you to listen to me, please. Okay, there isn't much time. Now, this is gonna sound very, very strange, and you're not gonna believe me, and I wouldn't believe me either. Okay, and I wish there was more time to explain, but if you don't come with me right now, you're all going to die.
What the hell was that?
That was death.
It's Grandma. Come to the window.
and it's coming.
We have seen unbelievable shit in this place. Roads that lead nowhere. Monsters that come from the dark. According to Boyd, there are evil fucking trees that trap you in dungeons.
People who were lost. They couldn't escape. She said they were holding on to hope, and when that hope was gone, they held on to each other.
No, you don't understand! There's something in the room!